welcome to Unsettled JD. Today is day 20 here at the Leatherback Trust organization in Costa Rica. So today is my last day, that is it, all finished. So since it's my last day, I decided to have like a very relaxing morning. I just watched TV until basically lunchtime, where I believe we had pasta or rice, one of the two. And then after dinner, it was cleaning day, last cleaning day. I cleaned, so we played dominoes to see who would clean stuff. I cleaned the smaller bathroom, so I bleached the shit out of everything, the walls, the floor, so super duper clean before I leave. And then I needed to finish packing, so I packed up as much as I possibly could. Obviously, I couldn't pack everything because pajamas and whatnot. But I packed up as much as I could, and then I watched some more TV, and then I finally got my butt out of bed and head down to the beach because I wanted to watch the last sunset, and it was a beautiful sunset. So then once I watched the sunset, I headed back to camp where we had dinner. I think we had rice for dinner. We were all still a bit hungry. I mean, I munched on some crackers afterwards because I was still hungry. Definitely didn't make enough food. We actually are running out of food, but tomorrow's grocery day. So then after dinner, didn't have to wash dishes at all. Woo, for Domino's. And yes, so after dinner, changed into clothes, get all ready, bug spray up, and then me and Olette are on beach patrol tonight, the last one. So we headed down, and it was a beautiful full moon, almost full moon, which was great. So you could actually see, didn't really need any lights. And yes, so we went to the beach. We headed to the north side first, no turtles, and then we headed back down to the south, and not far from the entrance there was a turtle, and she was emerging from the water. We weren't shooting a lay just because basically in front of her was a cliff. So basically we just watched her. So she like went up, walked towards the north all the way to the cliff, and then she tried to climb it. So we basically just kind of like sit there and like watch her go up. It was really fun to watch. And then, so she just kept going, but I don't think she liked the area, because shortly after that, she turned back. So she didn't make a body pit, nothing. She turned around and then went back towards the water. So that's when we measure her. So we did measure her, and we also grabbed the metal tag and the chip in her. So then we also mark an X on the on one of the trails, so that way we know that we've already saw that turtle. So then we kept going down towards south, and then we found another trail. So we walked up, and we basically found it. So we found the turtle. It was really funny. So as we were walking up, Olette's like, there's the turtle, and I was like, no, there's the turtle. So we ended up having two turtles at the same time. So the original turtle with the trail, so we followed that trail to find that turtle, and we measured her because we waited, so we watched to see what she was doing. So when she started veering off back towards the water for a false crawl, that's when we decided we'll stick with her. So we measured her, and then also found her metal tag and the chip. So then we went back to the other turtle because she was building her body pit. So basically we just made camp a little bit to the other far because she was under like a tree, and so her head was that way, tree branch. It's kind of just like a little bit of a pain to get to her. So we parked on the back. So Olette kind of just chilled out, and then obviously we both all chilled out because she wasn't that far into it. So basically when she started doing the whole run, it's basically about 30 minutes. So then I just kind of moved like behind her, got like all set up, and then waited for her to go. So she was really, so this was a green turtle that we had, and so when she started laying eggs, I basically had to like dig a hole into the nest because she made it was really like up high. So obviously I need to get in there to count, and I believe I counted 84 eggs. I believe it was 84 eggs. So yeah, so that was our first green turtle, and yeah, so all that went down south and didn't find any turtles down south when we went. Yes. So then after she laid her eggs, we measured the chip and her metal hip, and then since all that already went down south, we went north and had our little bit of a break. So that is when I decided to work out. For me, it was I did yoga, a little bit of yoga, and that was great. So when we came, so then after a break, we went back down south, and that's when we kept finding a few turtle tracks. So we found we believe we found a Laura track, and we believe she laid a nest. So that was another turtle. I'm not sure how many turtles there are, so you guys can count them up here. And then we went down, and then we found the entrance to the other turtle. So this was really confusing because there were so many trails, and the tide was coming in. We didn't know where they were, so we had to kind of check them out, cross them out. So our nights progressed quite quickly because we didn't have our first break until after 12. So then we went back down to our next one. So yeah, we saw the three turtles. And so there was one by the entrance, which was a false crawl. Another one when we went back down. And we kind of marched ours because we couldn't tell. Like I said, the tide was coming in. We had to recross off all the tracks. Yeah. So we found. So we also then found where that first turtle that we had that laid eggs, and where she all went around. She went really far. So we marched off hers, and then we found another turtle trail, and that one was so I found the end. So we were almost at mark 14, and I was this looks like a turtle track, and it was. And so we followed it, but it was down. So somehow we missed the coming in. So we ended up following it, and man, that turtle walked super duper far. So I think at this point it was after 2 in the morning, or just before 2 in the morning. So it was after that. So then we went and breaks were hey, we can go take a break. If there's no more turtles, we can then go back to the north and come back, and it'll be 3 o'clock, and then we can go. So basically I was just finishing my first set of workouts. So I was doing arms this time, and then I just was on my knees, and I just looked to the water, and I was I think that's a turtle. And I was what? I'm I think that's a turtle. And so I was it's totally a turtle. And the turtle was walking really fast, and I was wow, I've never seen a turtle walk this fast before. And so we just kind of stayed in the rest area just to see where she goes. And then she stopped, and so we thought it was a green turtle. So she stopped, and we were I was oh, she's probably just taking that breathing break to see that breathing break, and she's going to continue going. But she didn't. And we were if she stopped, it must be a Laura. So it's an olive Ridley turtle. And it was, so we basically were it's an olive Ridley, so, because olive Ridleys are closer onto the beach. And so basically grabbed our stuff, moved closer to the turtle, and yeah, and so that's when we sat down, and we know she's going to be really quick, so we know it's going to be about an hour, so we're perfect, it's almost 2, when we get done, it's going to be 3, we're just yay, thank goodness it's not a green turtle, because that would just suck. So we got her. So she's really quick. So they don't really make deep body pits. So they make it really quick, and then they dig a hole. It didn't really take her long, and then she has really small back legs. So when she started making the hole, I emptied down and ready. You can see because the beautiful moon is still out, even at 2 in the morning. So she started laying eggs at 2:02. No, she finished laying eggs at 2:02. No, that's wrong. It was 2:16 when she started covering, 2:02 when she started laying eggs, and so basically it's really so there's not much. So green turtle, you have this big body pit, and Laura there wasn't really much between it. So basically I had to also make like a hole. Anytime like I guess anytime it was New Year, she just like kind of like freak out and put the thing down, so I had to like kind of get in there and break it down. But I was able to count eggs, and this is the second Olive Ridley that I counted. So she actually laid like normal eggs, so who knows what was up with that last turtle that I counted, but she had the normal eggs, and she laid 86 eggs, I believe. So out of the two turtles, one laid 84 and one laid 86. I kind of forget which one was which. And she was quick, and she was done, I guess within that like hour. I guess less than an hour, because once we got done, we were like, yeah, it's home time. And then so we go like, so we obviously down like the beach, and we're like, no turtles, no turtles, no turtles. So we just keep walking down up to the north, and we get to the entrance. I'm like, can we go? And Olette's like, no, we need to go see the north. And I'm like, do we really need to? And she's like, yeah. So just beyond the entrance, we found turtle tracks. So we found two, and then a smaller one. So we're not sure if it was two turtles or one turtle that laid the egg. It was definitely green, because you had like the smaller one that was up, and then you had one that like went up like over. I thought it was two turtle. Olette thinks it's one. We tried to like measure them to the best of our ability. So while she was writing down like the information, I was like, I'll go to the north, see if there's any turtles or any marks, and come back. Luckily, there were no more turtles. And I was like, hey, we can go to bed, because we didn't leave the beach until like 3:30, just after 3, just before 3:30, and we headed back to camp. And so I think we had like seven turtles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we saw 4 turtles, and it was either 7 or 8 turtles that we had in total. Some of them we missed. But yeah, so it was a great, busy last night. I mean, those 6 hours went by like in a flash. Oh my god, it just went by so quickly. And yeah, so we only had the one break and maybe 5 minutes at the other spot. So yeah, crazy, busy ass last night. So that is it. That is the end of my turtle experience here in Costa Rica. I'll post one more video about what I thought of the program and everything.